In the silence before dawn, a chasm appears, not in the earth, but in the hearts of men. What the world calls chaos, the trembling of nations, the collapse of empires, the unrelenting march of uncertainty, is, in truth, a pattern unseen, a divine order threading through the shadows. Few notice it, fewer understand. Yet, those who look closely will see the subtle hand of God moving, guiding, separating the wise from the foolish, the faithful from the lost. And as the first light pierces the horizon, a whisper seems to linger. The unseen is shaping everything, and those who perceive it may never see life the same way again. Cities rise, their lights flicker like scattered stars, and yet beneath the surface invisible currents stir. Families argue over trifles, leaders chase fleeting power, and nations tremble in uncertainty. To the eyes of man, all seems disordered, random, a storm without reason. But God sees differently. In his eyes, the storm has a purpose. Each gust carries meaning, each shadow hides revelation. And every seeming disaster is a brushstroke in his grand design. It is in this liminal space, between what is seen and what is hidden, that true wisdom is revealed. The separation begins not in cataclysmic events, but in quiet choices of the heart. Will we cling to fear or follow faith? Will we seek comfort in the shallow and loud, or listen for the whispers of eternity? Consider the ancient story of the Israelites wandering the desert. To the world, they were lost, aimless, cursed to wander. Yet each step, each test, each hardship was carefully orchestrated. Every trial separated the faithful from the doubtful, the obedient from the obstinate. It was in the wandering that they discovered God's design, revealed not in ease, but in endurance. And so it is today. The noise, the disorder, the upheaval, they are not failures of the cosmos. They are signs, divine markers separating those who seek truth from those content with illusion. To recognize the separation is to awaken to a higher reality. In the marketplace, a man clutches wealth, blind to the needs of the hungry. Across the street, a woman kneels in secret prayer, unseen yet connected to the eternal. One chases fleeting shadows, the other walks the narrow path illuminated by faith. Chaos? Perhaps to the untrained eye. Order? Absolutely, in the eyes of God. The separation is subtle. It is not always dramatic. It appears in the patience of a quiet soul, in the courage to forgive when vengeance calls, in the discipline to act when temptation whispers. Each act, small and unseen, aligns with the grand tapestry woven by the divine. The world resists recognition. Humanity clings to the illusion of control, seeking patterns we can understand, answers we can hold. But God's order is not always grasped by intellect. It is felt by the heart, recognized in moments of clarity and awe. When the storm rages and all seems lost, the faithful pause, breathe, and sense the divine rhythm beneath the chaos. Reflect for a moment. In your own life, have you noticed patterns emerging from trials, lessons hidden in pain, guidance appearing when hope seemed absent? Perhaps that was no accident. Perhaps that was the divine separation at work, shaping, teaching, refining. The prophets spoke of this hidden order. Jeremiah, Isaiah, Daniel, they saw beyond the surface, understanding that apparent disorder is often preparation. God separates not to punish, but to awaken. The foolish follow the crowd into confusion. The wise pause, discern, and align with the eternal will. Every era bears this mark. In times of war and famine, in moments of societal upheaval, a quiet few rise, not by chance, but by attunement to the divine rhythm. They become the lights in the darkness, the voices that whisper truth amidst the clamor of falsehood. And here lies the paradox. The world fears separation, cries for unity, seeks comfort in sameness. But unity without discernment is blindness. True alignment with God requires a separation of hearts, a distinction between what is fleeting and what is eternal. This is the hidden order that the world mislabels as chaos. Consider the disciples. Called from ordinary lives, separated from the norms of their society, they faced ridicule, danger, and misunderstanding. Yet through their separation, the message of salvation spread, reshaping history itself. What seemed chaotic, the rejection, the persecution, the wandering, was in truth divine orchestration. Let us journey further into the quiet moments, the ones unnoticed by the world. The mother who prays while the city sleeps, the teacher who speaks truth amidst ridicule, the elder who forgives the unforgivable. Each is part of the unseen design, threads in the divine tapestry, proof that separation is neither punishment nor isolation. It is alignment, preparation, and revelation. Pause here. Reflect. Perhaps the challenges you face, the misunderstandings, the heartbreaks, are not mere accidents. Perhaps they are divine markers, guiding you toward clarity, separating distraction from purpose, fear from faith. Every moment carries potential revelation. Every trial offers hidden insight. Even the natural world testifies to this hidden separation. The tides obey rhythms unseen. Seasons follow patterns invisible to casual observation. And the stars march across the heavens with precision. Creation itself is a testament. What appears chaotic may, in truth, be the silent hand of God arranging all things according to His plan. Yet, this separation is not always comfortable. The faithful are tested. The chosen path often diverges from the crowd. Rejection, solitude, and struggle accompany those who follow divine order. But therein lies the blessing. Through separation comes clarity. Through challenge comes growth. Through faith comes alignment with eternity. Every soul is called to discern. Will you follow the fleeting voices of the world? Or will you listen for the subtle whispers of God guiding your steps? The hidden separation is not punishment. It is invitation. An invitation to see beyond appearances, to trust the unseen, and to embrace the divine design in the midst of apparent disorder. History bears witness. The faithful have always walked paths unseen, standing firm when the world swayed. Abraham, Esther, Joseph, the apostles, they embraced the separation, lived within the divine order, and through their obedience, revealed God's hand to all generations. The lesson is clear. Chaos is often the veil, divine order the truth. Those who recognize the distinction become the vessels of revelation, the bearers of light in a world dazzled by illusion. They understand that separation is not loss, it is alignment, refinement, and awakening. Look closely at your own life. The painful moments, the lonely nights, the seasons of doubt. They may be signals of separation, calling you to something higher. The divine order often demands patience, humility, and trust in the unseen. It is the quiet shaping of the soul, invisible yet transformative. Each choice matters. Each act of courage, of forgiveness, of faith, resonates far beyond what we see. This is the rhythm of divine order, the hidden separation that quietly governs our lives. The world may call it chaos, but those attuned to the eternal see differently. In moments of despair, God's hand guides. In times of uncertainty, divine patterns emerge. The hidden separation is not a wall. It is a bridge, connecting the temporal to the eternal, the seen to the unseen, the fearful to the faithful. And so, as you face life's storms, remember, the world may misunderstand the order behind events. As your heart can perceive it, you can walk in harmony with the invisible, seeing purpose where others see confusion, finding light where others see darkness. Look beyond the storm. See the pattern in the shadows. Embrace the separation, for it is not a rift, but a revelation. And in that revelation, you may discover that what the world calls chaos is, in truth, the hidden hand of God, guiding, shaping, and unfolding divine order in every heart willing to see.